Hey guys, this is Dreadbane joined by Sapphire. This is game 4 of the King of the Hill. Kowi is now playing the yellow Protoss, and Az is now playing the light blue Protoss. Now this is Lost Temple, and Az drew one back, so that's a good start for Az.
Yeah, he's gone with Aqua here, so he was, playing so well as red that I don't think he'd want to mix it up. But as is our multicolored hero, he's just choosing every color, like how he's sticking to yellow, and I'm going to stop talking about colors because it's really irrelevant. But no, interesting to find out whether we're going to see the same builds, especially considering this is Lost Temple. So Kowi was going for a really situational Delta Quadrant play and going for that pocket expansion, but of course this is Lost Temple, there is no pocket expansion like there is on Delta Quadrant. There's just your natural, and it's in classic Lost Temple style. It's relatively easy to defend. You do have a channel here with that really nice cliff, and the ramp is positioned really well to take your natural, but there is that cliff there that can really wreck your day. So interesting to find out what opening we're going to see from both players. We did see a slightly delayed 13 gate into 15 gas for Az, as opposed to 12 gate into 14 gas for Kowi, and we are seeing 12 gate for Kowi and 12 gate for Az, so completely mirrored right now. A little bit cautious from Az, being a little bit more careful and looking like he's going to miscout, not sending his probe to the Xel'Naga. If he did that, he would pick up this probe from Kowi and he would go to the right location. Az will realize what's going on once this probe gets to his base, but just as a general aside, it is usually worthwhile going straight to this Xel'Naga tower and veering off, because now Kowi is able to get a little bit more extra harassment on Az that Az would have if his probe was there. And look at this, even just with this a little bit of back and forth micro that we're seeing from Kowi, he is able to shut down one mineral patch. So there is one mineral patch from Az that he does not have a probe on right now, just from that little love tap from his probe. Meanwhile, Az having a miscout here, he should have clicked the fact that Kowi did not, based on that timing, he really unlikely that Kowi was cross-positional scouting there. So Az is going to be really late picking up what's going on in Kowi's base. But we are seeing mirrored builds right now. Cybernetics core, very similar timing. A little bit slower there for Kowi, but and Kowi burning that chrono boost on his probe. So both players getting in a similar situation here, although Kowi is not building this zealot, Az is building this zealot, and that could be attributed to the fact this probe has been harassing him for so long, whereas Kowi had all this free time with no probe in his base. So a little bit of falling behind there for Az, just from that scouting mix-up, and it just shows you how something so small can really start to subtly affect the game very quickly.
Kowi actually being a little sneaky there, he actually assimilator steals Az's one there, so I haven't seen that one in a while. So a bit of sneaky one there from Kowi, as he's now going to escape. This is going to give him a bit of scouting. He's going to know a tiny bit at least what's going on around there. He'll at least know when it's going to go down. So we'll have to see what's going on here. Kowi really looks like he's just going to go with his stalkers once again. It's done him so well so far, as this one Kowi stalker is moving across the field. Of course, they're on the top level, so really there's only one channel between them. Very quickly you can get to the other guy's base. So we'll have to see if Kowi actually pushes out early. Really, he's only got the one stalker, and he's really facing off really another stalker there, so he really can't do too much. So he's just going to have to patrol around this watchtower just to make sure that he's got that.
Yeah, this really good value here on this gas deal, because it's really slowed down Az's Vespene production, and it kind of dictates what he's able to do, whereas Kowi has got his second Vespene online, although he only has 2 probes mining in that Vespene right now, which is a little bit curious. But we are seeing Az finally working down that geyser right now, looking like he will instantly take that, I would imagine, just to boost his Vespene production. And we do see Kowi pushing in with those stalkers, just trying to pick up a few probes, and he got 2 kills on one of the stalkers. So while Az was distracted with his Vespene geyser, Kowi snuck in and committed a little bit of a surgical strike there, while we do see robotics facility coming online for both players. So still similar builds going on here. 2 gate into robo for both players, with Kowi, surprise, getting those stalkers, which he just uses to absolute precision.
Yeah, that lack of gas really is actually kind of telling a bit for Az. Just looking at the income, he's obviously half right now, because he's only just getting that up now, which of course lets him build a lot more stalkers. Anything really with gas, so important, unless you just want to make zealots and cannon up. So just a curious one there. It also just really just puts eyes off a tiny bit, just have that little harassment going on, as Immortal's now coming out for Kowi, and more gateways. So really more of the same as now as the Stalkers moving in. They're going to be outnumbered though, so that's going to pull out before they get picked off. Really, one of them getting away with 12 health, and they should be okay. No losses for either side as this Observer slowly making his way across the field. But there's a bunch of these Stalkers now at the door. Really, Az should be okay though. He's got these Zealots, and these Stalkers should be no worries there as Kowi now moves back to his base. But yeah, a bit of a curious one as Kowi now gets his expansion. So doesn't look like Az has really any thinking of that so far. Although, as I say that, now he has. So there you go.
Yeah, looking very similar timing there from both players. Az choosing to get his Observer a little bit earlier than Kowi, and he does pick up that expansion at the same time. So very, very similar timing still going on. But Az was very lucky to escape that engagement with Kowi where he had 3 Stalkers on 5 and not lose any Stalkers. So really good run for your life moment there for Az. The last thing you want to do is be on Stalker action against Kowi, and Kowi having the numbers advantage. It just does not end well, and we are seeing this heavy Zealot mixture coming here and Kowi does pick it up. Curious as to whether Kowi is going to use his Immortal composition to go and attack this Xel'Naga tower, because this composition right now does not favour Az, and Az getting that Robotics Bay online, looking to get those Colossi out, which he uses so effectively. Meanwhile, Kowi has just been looking to get his expansion operational, almost close to whelping in, where Az is still a little bit behind right now, but Az has this, Kowi has this really good unit composition with 2 Immortals in his mix, where he's just got a bunch of Zealots and Stalkers at the Xel'Naga, so Kowi, if he pushes out, will be in a strong position to really force Az to fall back to his high ground here, I believe.
Yes, same units again though. I mean, as I say that now, Az again with these Colossi, which won him the last game. So more of them coming as a little bit of a skirmish now with this Observer overhead for Kowi. He's going to try and pick off some of these Zealots who are running so slow. Now they're engaging next to the expansion where he can warp in. Nice force fields. They're blocking off the reinforcements for a second there just to pick off some of the other ones. I think Kowi's got the numbers here, but really these reinforcements just doing really quite well for Az. He's now having to pull back, sniping up a couple, a little bit of micro there, picking up a bunch of these Zealots, as now these Immortals are facing off against 3 Stalkers. Now this Colossi will prove the difference. If you keep this up for a while,